Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome to the video. Today's vehicle is an absolutely filthy 2018 Dodge Challenger. So let's take a closer look at it so you guys can see just how dirty this thing is. Okay, well, it almost hurts a little to see such a beautiful car looking like this right now, as it's covered in dirt and road salt from front to back. Although the back end is definitely the worst area, as you can barely see the paint anymore. The dirt is so thick. So it's safe to say this car probably hasn't been washed once this winter. But if you think the outside is bad, well, it doesn't get any better inside, as the floor mats are stuffed full of dirt and there's a healthy amount of dog hair all around the car, especially in the back. And if that's not enough, the center console area is pretty gross too. But just before we jump into this disaster detail, take a quick second and make sure you're subscribed to the channel and that you've got the bell turned on, so that way you get notified when my new videos go live each week. Alright guys, well, I am pretty pumped to get working on this Challenger, get this thing cleaned up and looking like a beast again. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright, so starting on the pre-wash rinse here, and it's not every day that I get to work on a vehicle like this with so much history, and I have to say I love the way the Challenger looks and how unique it is compared to other vehicles on the road. And if you're a fan of muscle cars, I also detailed a Ford Mustang GT a few months ago, so definitely give that video a look, as the car had been used on a farm and was really dirty. Okay, moving to the back end, and if you were wondering, no, it hasn't warmed up since last week. It was actually even colder today, with the temperature having dropped to -38 or about -46 Celsius with the wind chill. So the water is freezing almost instantly here, as you can see, and this should hopefully be the last real blast of winter we get here, as temperatures are supposed to be above zero in just a few days from now. Now on the wheel here, where I was blasting a thin layer of dirty ice off of it, I'm making sure to hit the spokes from different angles to get it all off. And judging by the rock chips that I've noticed on the lower portions of the car so far, I'd guess the owner drives it on gravel roads a fair bit. So I'll also make sure to get down into the barrel of the rim as well, where dust likes to collect. Moving to the underside and seeing how low to the ground this car is, you definitely have to wonder how tricky it might be to navigate winter up here in Canada, even with winter tires, but I've still got room to get the undercarriage washer underneath and get all the road salt sprayed off. And if you're curious as to where you can get one of these undercarriage sprayers, well, I've got the link down in the description for you, and they're pretty inexpensive for the peace of mind they give you. So starting on the wash stage now, and when I wash vehicles, I always use the 2-bucket method with grit guards in both of my buckets. And what the 2-bucket method means is having 1 bucket with soapy water and 1 bucket dedicated for rinsing my wash mitt, and then using a nice soft microfiber chenille wash mitt, I'll rinse or flip my mitt after each panel, of course washing the vehicle top down. Although the other piece of the puzzle here is making sure to do a really thorough job on the pre-wash rinse to get as much dirt as possible off the vehicle before the contact wash. And if you follow those steps, you will greatly reduce the chance of instilling any swirl marks or scratches in the paint. Alright, with the Challenger washed and dried now, I'll turn my attention to the interior, starting with these gross floor mats, and I'll quickly get the loose dirt and debris vacuumed up. But for the rest of the dog hair that's really stuck in there, I'll grab my lily brush, and as you guys can see, it makes quick work of all the trapped hair. So for any of you out there who struggle with pet hair removal, I do have these brushes available on my website at detailgeekautocare.com, and for $13, this is a tool that is worth its weight in gold, as it should last for years and makes the job 10 times easier. Moving up to the driver's mat, which was easily the dirtiest of them all, and if you've ever wondered why I typically pressure wash floor mats rather than extract them, well, it's simply because the pressure washer does a far better job than an extractor alone ever could, not to mention it's far quicker, although the only situation I'll just extract mats is when they're only mildly dirty or dusty, but if they're worse than that, then the pressure washer is the way to go. Okay, getting the car pulled back into my steamy garage now and starting on removing the garbage and personal items from the car. And of course, like every good Canadian, he's got a giant bag of spits in here. So getting this all removed, I'll go ahead and toss any obvious garbage, and for the personal items, I'll just put those in bags and we'll leave them in the trunk when I'm done the detail. Now, for those of you who maybe aren't subscribed to the second channel, the Detail Geek 2, well, I figured I'd let you know that I recently posted episode 15 of my Clean With Me series, which is of the nasty Pontiac G5, and I've included a ton of extra footage and behind the scenes stuff that you don't see in these main channel videos, so if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, be sure to head over there after this video. working my way around with the vacuum, and I'm sure there are some of you out there wondering about the quality of carpet in this Challenger, and I'm happy to say it's relatively decent, and besides the dog hair, all the dirt is actually coming out of it pretty easily, so that definitely makes the detail more enjoyable from my perspective when I don't have to fight against cheap materials. Alright, so starting on all the trim now, and I'll work my way around the vehicle top down and start with a boar's hair detail brush as it's a bit stiffer and it makes quick work of any dirt or debris that's hiding down in the cracks and crevices around the vents, door handles, switches, cup holders, basically anywhere that you can't easily use the vacuum on. And then for any of the more sensitive plastics that are more prone to scratches, I'll switch over to the ultra soft brush. Alright, starting on extracting the back seat here, and despite the seats not looking terribly dirty, there were still some pretty gross colors that came through the Bissell here, especially on the lower portion where there was a nice mix of oranges and reds. Moving down to the carpets now, and for those of you who might be wondering why I take the seats out in some vehicles and others I don't, well, it's because I only do it when it's actually necessary and I can't clean up to my standards with the seats in. And in the case of this Challenger here, all the dirt was concentrated where the floor mat goes, so there wasn't anything that I couldn't reach with the seats still in here. Here's the bucket full of dirty water pulled from the Challenger. Gross. Now, a helpful tip for that little indent in the weather stripping around doors that always seems to collect tons of dirt and pebbles is to just blast it all out with steam, and as you can see, it only takes a few seconds. Now for these dirty pedals, I'll start by spraying on some APC diluted 4:1, which is heavy strength, and then blast it with the steamer and stiff brush attachment. And if you've ever wondered why I do this after extracting the carpets, it's because when I use the drill brush on the solution, it tends to fling it all over the trim and the pedals, so if they were already clean, I would just end up repeating work. Okay, with all the interior trim dressed and UV protected with 303, I'll move back outside and we'll get a layer of sealant applied to this beautiful blue paint to boost the depth and gloss and really make it shine. Last up is to dress the tires with some CarPro Pearl, which will leave them with a deep matte black look when it dries. And the nice thing about Pearl is that it's water-based and it won't sling all over the paint when the owner drives away. Alright guys, and 10 hours later and all the dog hair is gone and the Challenger is looking insane. It's back to looking like it should. Now if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Do me a favor and let me know down in the comments what your favorite part of the video was. And as always, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Enjoy the guitar outro and I will see you guys in the next one.